this extension?
Well, Skip, it makes sense for Paul George because you get long-term financial security. And I guess for the Clippers, considering what they gave up, they basically mortgaged their future. Kawhi was a free agent. You didn't have to give up anything. Kawhi came there voluntarily. But in order to get Kawhi a sidekick, you had to trade Gallinari and Gilgeous-Alexander and 4 or 5 #1 draft picks. So basically, your future until 2026, you got no future when it comes to the draft.
Yep.
So I guess this is what you had to do, Skip. And if worse come to worse, you can trade him and try to recruit some of that back. It's very difficult to trade someone if he's about to be a free agent and he doesn't make a long-term, he's not willing to make a long-term commitment to you. So I get it on both of their parts, you know, Paul George and Kawhi. But Skip, I'm confused. This max money should go to the top. And I get there guys getting max money, and I get it. But Skip, when I look at Paul George in his last 5 elimination games, he's averaging 20 points, 37% field goal shooting. He has a 1-4 record. In Game 7 against Denver, he had 10 points, 4-16. Now, I know what Paul George did his first couple of years in the league, going head-to-head with LeBron in Miami with D-Wade and Bosh. I remember that. But I also remember what happened those last 2 years in Indiana. I also remember what happened when he was in OKC, when Russ dropped 45 and he hit 5. I remember that.
Russ 45 versus Donovan's 44, whatever he was. Right?
And Paul George laid an egg.
Yep.
So
he did.
And I thought, Skip, when you gave somebody that kind of money, you're banking on what they're going to be moving forward.
Yep.
What has convinced you that Paul George in the playoffs, because that's where you get that, Skip, you're giving that guy that money, what are he going to be in the playoffs? I just, like I said, it makes sense for Paul George. Hell, anybody, you'd be foolish not to take that kind of money. That long, and that's guaranteed.
I mean, the last year is almost $50 million.
And then no accountability. It's everybody else's fault. The way Doc was using me. Doc had me using me like I was J.J. Redick, pin downs, all this. Bruh, Doc
ain't... By the way, did you see Doc's response on ESPN today?
Yeah, I love it. I love Doc.
Yeah, and Doc was saying, wait, I was using him like I used Ray Allen. He said, you know, Ray Allen was really good. Maybe Paul should say, thank you.
Yeah.
Right?
So who made him hit the side of that backboard? Who made him shoot 4-16? So that was Doc's fault. Remember, he missed that layup. He had a point-blank layup, and then he just dropped it, just like, it's one of those things. I get it for Paul George. Skip, that's $226 million over the next 5 years. I get that. But for the Clippers, whoo.
Okay. So, as usual, I see this completely upside down from the way you do. I was hoping that Paul George would bet on himself the way Kawhi is about to bet on himself again and have what you call a contract year, where you could play it out and become free again after this coming basketball season, right?
Right.
Kawhi is about to do that. Now, you can argue it's smart on his part. He's a little more advanced in age than Paul is.
Right.
And so he's got those bird rights where you could max out by becoming a free agent and then re-signing with the Clippers, you could make more money.
Right.
Paul had a chance right here, right now, to go big on the 4-year extension. The last year's at his option for $50 million.
Right.
So he said, I wanted security.
Right.
That speaks to who he is and who he's not, because he's like, man, I don't know. I wasn't very good in the Denver, and he's thinking, they're going to offer me this?
Right.
I'll take it.
After the playoff, after the pandemic, P, they saw they gonna give me 190.
Or as you called him, playoff P-E-E.
Yeah, that's what he was.
He was. I do not disagree. Now, here's another point of contention I have with what you're saying. Why would the Clippers do this? You know why? Because
you got no choice.
Okay, no, but he is a complimentary star at best. But I underscore that word star. He's still a star. He does not have alpha in him. He does not have much of that dog in him. But ESPN ranked him in the ranking that just came out, the top 100 yesterday. He was 20th, and that's where he belongs. He is a top 20 talent. That's why you've got a guy who's made all-star. He's made, what, 6 all-star teams, and he's been all defense 4 times. That talent does not grow on Southern California palm trees out here. It does not.
It does not.
So you just have to step back from it and say, let's not be prisoner of the playoff moment. And the odds are he'll do it again. He'll do it again because that's his history.
Yes.
But can he get you to that point? Yes, he can. I remind you, coming off 2 shoulder surgeries, he had a pretty good regular season. He shot 41% from 3 at 6 feet 8 inches tall.
Oh, yeah.
And he defends at a high level. So you can't find that kind of talent. So if you can pair the 20th ranked player with a guy who I would rank 2nd in the NBA, 2 plus 20 equals potential championship. So you can't just let him go. You can't say, let's cut bait with, I call him George Paul.
But here's the thing.
He is still Paul George in talent.
But you've given up so much to get him, Skip, and you keep telling me all these guys, he plays D at elite level. What did Jamal Murray do to him? What did Jason Tatum do to him?
Okay.
What did Marcus Smart do to him?
Where was that? Where did it happen? It happened in the bubble. What was he going through? And I do not discount this. He said, I'm suffering anxiety/depression. I need counseling. Okay? He was public with it, and it's like, okay. And they were coming apart at the seams internally because you had the veterans, Montrez and Lou, saying, wait a second, you guys get to do this and that, and we don't get to do that. You get to take games off. You get to dictate circumstances, whether we practice or not, and we don't have any say. That they had such internal dissension with a coach who, I love Doc, but he was just saying, I give up. You guys go figure it out. You know, I'm sick. You've tuned me out. I'm sick and tired of all of you. So I'm just going to sit back and fold my arms on the bench and see if you can figure out how to close out one of 3 games in which you had leads of 15, 19, and 12.
But if PG, 190 million, if he's that guy, shouldn't he be able to do that? Even if Kawhi's, because this is why you have 2 guys like that. If LeBron's off, AD got to be able to bring it home. Because remember when AD was struggling, what did Go James do? Brought it home. So that's the reason why you have 2 of those guys.
You know who brought it home for you guys? Your 3rd best player.
Oh, my goodness.
Playoff Rondo. Every time you were in any kind of hot water at all, he just comes in, he settles it down, he sets it up, and he gets people where they should be so you can close deals.
So we're going to discount LeBron's triple-double in Game 6.
No, I'm just saying, are we going to discount the numbers Kawhi was putting up in the playoffs before Game 7?
No.
Because they were huge.
But, Skip, he was gagging.
In Game 7, he did.
No, but, Skip, can you imagine? Let's just say for the sake of argument, Skip, that's LeBron James, and he has a 3-1 lead, and he had leads of 15, 19, and 12. I wouldn't even be able to come out here and do the show with you because you would show that we be talking about something else, and you show that clip. I want to show you because that's what you do with the bloopers. You show the bloopers.
Are you asking for
No, I ain't asking for them, but I'm just
we can show them right now.
But I'm just saying, Skip, let that sink in for a second. 2 guys, you say the 2 guys guys like Paul George don't grow on California palm trees. And he had a 3-1 lead along with Kawhi. Kawhi, who you say is the 2nd best player in the NBA.
I do.
You got him in front of GOAT James.
I do. I go Kevin Durant, Kawhi. I'll give you GOAT, quote unquote, and I'll give you AD. That's my 4.
Skip, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
And no Luka.
Skip, you ought to be.
Luka's 15th on my list. That's all he is. That's all he's proven so far. Stop it. He can't shoot.
The mere fact that you got LeBron 3rd, your list should be disqualified.
Oh, stop it. Really? Well, that's what he was a year ago.
Hold on.
Coming off 28 and 27 as a starter as a first-year Laker. Way to go.
Here's the thing.
We should show that blooper reel.
No, we shouldn't.
Yeah.
What I don't understand, Skip, is the reason why you and a lot of other people had Kawhi in front of LeBron last year is because he won the title. Your guy gagged in the divisional round with a 3-1 lead. My guy galvanized the great leader, might be the greatest leader in NBA history.
He's lost 6 finals. How can you be great if you've lost 6 finals? How can you be great when you're the quote-unquote leader of the Miami Heat and you blow a 2-games-to-1 lead and you lose 4, 5, and 6?
So
how can you do that?
I just want to make sure I'm hearing you correctly.
How do you melt down? Do you remember the numbers?
So Tom Brady ain't great.
He didn't even average 20 points a game in those last 3 against Dallas in 2011.
So Tom Brady ain't great.
We should show those lowlights.
No, Skip. All I'm saying is, Skip, is that when you look at, I don't want to get like Paul George, 5 years, 226. I get it.
Okay, well, I get all you're saying. I'm with you.
Okay.
There's a lot.
You called the man George Paul, and now you co-signing this?
Okay, because you can't replace that kind of talent. That kind of talent will get you to that moment. Yes, they should have closed the deal. No, they don't have a trustable point guard. There's still Pat Bev or bust unless they go out and get somebody I don't see coming. I have no idea. I don't think it's Luke Kennard at point guard. But my point is, they needed playoff Rondo, and I guess he took the money and ran to
No, don't do that.
Yep.
Because Paul George, now, hold on. You just said Paul George took the money. He wasn't willing to bet on himself.
Nope, he was not willing
But
to.
you want Rondo, who has an injury history, who's, about to be 34, 35, but you want him to come there and play with them guys.
He would have been the last piece to the championship puzzle. I will give you that. But you still have a championship puzzle. You still have whatever you want to call them, the third or fourth best team. What are their odds? I think they're now fourth best. That's fine. Okay, fourth best. That's not all that bad. Does that mean you're a contender? You got a shot?
But what about Rondo, Skip? What does Rondo like to boot? It would rub Rondo the wrong way. Them guys not out there practicing. We trying to get this thing together. So he said, nah, I ain't going to even go. I ain't going to even go.
But the point was, Kawhi has been doing this since San Antonio.